Health Canada has released details on cannabis edibles, extracts, and topical products. One of the recommendations would see a hard cap of 10 milligrams of THC in a single package of an edible product. Also proposed restricting ingredients that make edibles attractive to kids. Ottawa wants regulations in place by October of 2019. Jennifer Thomas is co-founder of Province Brands of Canada, involved in developing cannabis-infused beers and spirits. Thanks for your time.
Hi.
It doesn't sound, Jennifer, like alcohol or sort of beers and other liquids are covered in this announcement.
Well, these are still draft proposals, and there's still 60 days for our consultation period. But the idea here is that regulators are really trying to focus on safety and a level of attractiveness of the products to children.
So, are you hoping that liquids, drinks will be included in the regulations when they finally do come out? Are you lobbying for that?
Well, we are of the impression that this draft regulations really does encompass not only edibles but also beverages. And we are pretty much confident that products like ours will be able to launch when legalization happens for edibles, and that this draft regulation does cover that market. So
why do you say that? Because the way that I read it, it really wasn't clear. Was there something specific in the language that made you believe that that liquids would be covered?
Well, the idea here is that edibles generally do mean edible consumption. So there is nothing specifically that says that beverages won't be covered. And, you know, the industry right now has been leaning towards the idea that this definition here will cover products that are consumed, consumed orally. The idea here, focusing on edible.
All right, so they've talked about how much THC they want to limit a product to. Would that be in line with what your producers are planning to have in their products?
Well, you know, at Province Brands, you know, we're still welcoming the framework that the regulators are putting out here. This dosage, you know, falls somewhat in line with the way that we were assuming things would go. So in some ways, you know, the idea here is that we're still going to make great products, and that the dosage is not the only part of the product that makes you, when it comes to a beverage like ours, that adds to your enjoyment.
Meaning what?
Well, when you think about our products, we're not just infusing beer with cannabis, right? We make a beer that's brewed from cannabis. So the idea here is that we take the stalk, stem, and seeds of a cannabis plant, and we use that as the draft and the fodder material for our product to be brewed. So the product and the elements of the product that relate to cannabis, they come in not just with the THC content, but also with the underlying material that the product is made of.
So do you think there might have to be very specific regulations for this kind of product then?
Well, we are really hoping to work with regulators to make sure that we can carve out products like ours from the framework that we see that's existing that may have some reservations here. And let's keep in mind, right, that when these are just draft, and this is a framework that we're working with. So the idea here is that we know that regulators' focus is to keep products out of the hands of kids. And we know that also over time that regulators, when introduced with reasonable proposals, can make space for products that are specialized to come to market. So we feel very strongly that a product like ours, because it's safe and because it's not focused on kids' products the same way you'd see in edibles that are like gummies or candy, you know, things that are inherently more attractive to children, that our product, because of its adult consumption nature, is really still within the spirit of what regulators are really trying to get at when they are trying to regulate in this industry.
All right, Jennifer, I do have to leave the conversation there. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Coming up, the chaos at London's Gatwick Airport.